I am reviewing another game for you guys today, and what game? What game, might you be asking? That game is Catherine for the Xbox 360. Of course, it's on the PS3 as well, but I rented it for the 360. I don't have the awesome case because Gamefly, thankfully, let me rent this game from them. It is so hard to explain what exactly Catherine is. Like, you hear Catherine and you've heard so much about this game, but it's hard to say like what this game is. But I can say that it is an extremely unique game. It's just like, the story is just like, it's such a chick story. It definitely is, but I'm not saying guys aren't going to enjoy the game, but it goes from like this daytime drama awesomeness to straight out of like something straight from the Twilight Zone. It just gets far out there. The puzzles are just, they're a lot of fun. It's fun just climbing this wall of blocks and trying to figure out how to get to the very top. At times, extremely frustrating, but this game was developed and published by Atlus. Atlus, of course, only did publishing for Demon's Souls and Dark Souls, stuff like that, but it definitely feels like these two games kind of bounce some ideas off of each other. Like, Catherine definitely borrowed some of the frustration and endless deaths that came from those two games. This game should definitely not be looked over, though, because the puzzle aspect is just truly, truly addicting in this game, and the story just really keeps you wondering, like, what else is gonna go wrong in this poor man's life? Like, what else is just gonna happen to poor Vincent? So we're gonna go over the story mode, which I guess is just kind of like the Golden Playhouse. It's almost like you're watching this TV show. Like, it just kind of, you're sitting there and you're talking to well, this lady's talking to you. She has a TV going and she's like, join me in the story. Anyways, it's about a man named Vincent, and he has a girlfriend named Catherine with a K, and he's just happy with everything. He's been with her for a very long time, doesn't want to get married. It's good where it's at, and he doesn't want it to change. Of course, Catherine, she wants a family, she wants to get married, and she wants to do that stuff extremely, like, very, very soon. Anyways, he runs into another woman, her name Catherine as well, but with a C, and begins to have these horrible, horrible nightmares, and he just doesn't understand why he's having these nightmares and how he keeps ending up with Catherine with a C. I don't want to ruin too much of the story though, because it gets so far out there, but it's so good. The cool part about this game is you make the decisions for Vincent, whether he does the right thing or the wrong thing, even though there really isn't a right and a wrong technically in this game. But you make all the decisions in, like, whenever they ask you questions in the nightmare, how you reply back to texts from other people, or just how you answer like a certain way to people when you're talking to them in the game. Ultimately, all of these things combined is just like the big decision in what kind of ending that you'll get out of this game. And I guess there's a total of 8 endings to this game. I ended up getting the lover's ending just because that's the kind of person I am, but it was a really cute ending, but I'm interested to see what the other endings look like to this game. But let's talk about the nightmares. It's like the bread and butter of this game is the puzzles, the huge wall of blocks that you have to climb to get to the top, get to the next stage, and get out of the nightmare and live to see another day. As you progress throughout the game, different types of blocks show up, blocks that you can't move, blocks that move a little bit slower, and you also run into blocks that are just traps, like spikes that come out of the blocks, blocks that explode, and stuff like that. So as you go through each nightmare every night, the wall of blocks just gets more difficult. Luckily though, as you progress throughout the game, more techniques get shown to you, and they just kind of show you different ways that you can move the blocks and get past certain areas, so you're not totally sitting there frustrated out of your mind and going on YouTube to look for a video. You can also find or gather items or buy them. Of course, I think buying them is not the best of ideas because it kind of takes away from everything. But these items help you kill enemies that you run into, help you climb 2 blocks instead of 1, or even just add a block to the game. And you also gather pillows, and pillows are kind of like lives for you in this game. You can have upwards to 99 lives at a time, which really says a lot because you will fail so many times in the puzzles. There's one puzzle that, I kid you not, I think I did a good 25 times trying to figure out how to get to the top. Not just like you'll forget that there's a spike block there, run into it and die. You'll forget there's an ice block there, slide off of it, die. You'll screw yourself over and take up blocks that you needed and die. I mean, there's just, it gets so infuriating sometimes, but you just want to keep trying and you want to figure it out and you must get to the top. So what else do you do other than the nightmares, the puzzles, and climbing up the blocks? Well, you are kind of like in the real world. Like you're in Vincent's room, you're at the sushi bar, or you're at the Stray Sheep with your friends, and sometimes you're at a restaurant with your girlfriend. But those are like the 4 main places that you're at in the game. But beware of the ever long, like excruciatingly long cutscenes that kind of happen. Like once you get out of the nightmare, the game kind of takes hold. Like you can stop and do whatever you want to do at certain times, but the game just kind of grabs your hand and says, I'm telling you a story and this is what we're gonna do. At some point, one of the cutscenes was long enough for my Xbox controller to turn off. Long enough to do that. I was amazed. It's definitely a game that you have to kind of give time. Like don't just say, I have 30 minutes, I'm gonna play Catherine, because you gotta give this game some time. But mainly when you're at the bar, the Stray Sheep, you can talk with your friends, talk with the various bar patrons to just kind of see like what's going on, what's happening with other people, because throughout the game, other men start getting pulled into this nightmare. You can also view your text messages and reply back to them, and you can go to the creepy bloody bathroom and check out all the naughty pictures that Catherine with a C will be sending you. You can also drink 4 different types of alcoholic beverages, and the more alcohol you consume, I guess the faster you move when you're in the nightmare world trying to climb up the blocks. So it helps to drink as much alcohol as possible. Game really shouldn't be promoting that, but oh well. And also it gives you little factoids about each alcohol, like stuff that I didn't even know. And if you hear all of them for each alcoholic beverage, you actually do get achievements, or for the PS3 trophies. And they also have an arcade machine, Rapunzel, which is just like the Nightmare World. So it's like playing the Nightmare World but not being in there. But it's pretty much the wall of blocks that you have to climb up to save Rapunzel. And I think there are quite a few levels to that game, because there is an achievement or trophy to get to level 64 in that game. So there you have it. That is my review on the game Catherine. I would say out of 10 stars, I would definitely give this game, I don't know, I would say 7 out of 10. The controls can get a little infuriating because sometimes it's better to play with the D-pad than with a thumbstick, because sometimes you'll push too far and you'll go and hang off a block, or you'll just go too far and fall off. You definitely have to kind of, you know, pay attention to what you're doing. And sometimes the levels are just infuriating. Like it felt like halfway through the game, I could have broken my controller, and then by the end of the game it was just a race up the wall. There wasn't really a challenge other than just getting up the wall as quickly as possible and dodging any attacks from the bosses. But other than that, the story was great, because I'm such a girl and I love it when there's just cheating and drama, and I'm not involved in it, but I can watch it. I love watching drama. But it definitely towards the end of the game just gets like into this craziness that you're just like, what's going on? That doesn't happen. The puzzles are highly addicting. I mean, they do get extremely frustrating, but once you figure it out, I mean, the sense of accomplishment is just awesome. So, remember, 360 and the PS3, if you guys enjoyed this review, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe and check out all my other videos and my other reviews. And don't forget, you can always leave a comment down below. Discuss, what do you think about Catherine? Have you played it? Are you interested in playing it? What do you think about this review? What do you think you'll ever play Catherine? And I will see you guys on the next review.